Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are going to continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 4. You have to read text 38 today. Do you remember what we read yesterday?
Yesterday we read about Prahlad Maharaj. Like, although he was born in the family of the Asuras, he was not an Asura. He was, in fact, a perfect Brahmana. He was a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. Yeah,
Yeah.
he had the qualities of Vaishnava, pure devotees, and not envious. He had no enemies. He has no enemies. That's a pure devotee, a Vaishnava, who has no jealousy, not envious, not interested in fruitive activities, and determined in devotional service. So he's completely like devoid of material desires. So he's also, Prahlad Maharaj is actually a Maha Bhagavat, Bhagavata, is it? A Bhagavat,
Yeah, Mahabhagavad, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So such a devotee you don't find very easily, like rare. That's why they say, like Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So, yeah, so Prahlad Maharaj had these qualities and he would be fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So, from the beginning, when he was a child, he was not interested in childish playthings.
Yeah. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. So we'll continue reading. Asina paryatan ashnan
Asina
Asina
Yatan
Paryatati
Ashnan
shayana prapiban bruvan
Shaya
Shayana Prapi
Piban
Bruvan
nanu sandhata etani
Nano Sandhate Etani
govinda parirambitaha.
Govinda Paridam
Parinambitaha.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Prahlad Maharaj was always absorbed in thought of Krishna. Thus, being always embraced by the Lord, he did not know how his bodily necessities, such as sitting, walking, eating, lying down, drinking, and talking, were being automatically performed. A small child, while being cared for by his mother, does not now know how the needs of of the body for eating, sleeping, lying down, passing water, and evacuating are being fulfilled. He is simply satisfied to be on the lap of his mother. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj was exactly like a small child being cared for by Govinda. The necessary activities of his body were performed without his knowledge. As a father and mother care for their child, Govinda cared for Prahlad Maharaj, who remained always absorbed in thoughts of Govinda. This is Krishna consciousness. Prahlad Maharaj is the vivid example of perfection in Krishna consciousness. So we are always thinking, oh, what am I going to eat? How can I protect myself? Our thoughts always absorbed with this eating, sleeping, mating, defending. And Prahlad Maharaj is completely dependent on Krishna. And what's the example Prabhupada is giving?
Example of a mother, like how a child totally
Yeah,
yeah, depends, totally like surrenders to the mother's lap and whatever he needs, everything the mother provides.
Yeah, that's right. He's not worried. He knows mother will take care of me. So Prahlad Maharaj not worried. He completely is depending on Krishna. His firm conviction, Avishya Rakshibe Krishna. Firmly. Prabhupada is saying he's a vivid example of perfection in Krishna consciousness. Vachit Rudati Vaikuntha.
Kvachit rudati vaikunta
Kuta,
Chinta Shabala Chetana.
Chinta,
chinta shabala chetana
Vachit Dasati Tachinta.
kvachit
Kvachit
dasati
Hasti,
chinta
Nada Udgayati Kvachit.
Ahlada, Dukati,
uttayati kvachit.
Because of advancement in Krishna consciousness, he sometimes cried, sometimes laughed, sometimes expressed jubilation, and sometimes sang loudly. This verse further clarifies the comparison of a devotee to a child. If a mother leaves her small child in his bed or cradle and goes away to attend some family duties, the child immediately understands that his mother has gone away, and therefore he cries. But as soon as the mother returns and cares for the child laughs and becomes jubilant. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, being always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, sometimes felt separation, thinking, where is Krishna? This is explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shunyaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me. When an exalted devotee feels that Krishna is invisible, having gone away, he cries in separation. And sometimes, when he sees that Krishna has returned to care for him, he laughs, just as a child sometimes laughs upon understanding that his mother is taking care of him. These symptoms are called bhava. In the nectar of devotion, various bhavas, ecstatic conditions of a devotee, are fully described. These bhavas are visible in the activities of a perfect devotee. So Prahlad Maharaj, he was having this wonderful emotions. You know, he could feel Krishna's separation, he could feel Krishna's presence. And again, Prabhupada is giving the example of a child, just as when the mother comes back, child is happy, is laughing. Mother goes, child is crying. So Prahlad Maharaj was feeling this separation from Krishna. He's feeling this to get that Krishna is now with me. So he's laughing, he's crying. He has this beautiful emotions for Krishna. In our relationship, we have so many emotions, right? Here Prabhupada is giving the example of a child and the mother. But we see in any relation, if it's like a near relationship, then there is so much emotions are there. And so here, because Prahlad Maharaj is in his relationship with Krishna, he has this emotions. Nadati kvachit utkantho
Nadati kvachit utkanto
vilajo nrityati kvachit
nilajya
Nityati,
nityati kvachit
kvachit tad bhavana yuktas
kvachit
Kvachit Bhavana,
tadbhavana yuktas
tanmayo nuchakaraha.
tanmayo nuchaka
Jakaraha,
Sometimes, upon seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prahlad Maharaj would loudly call in full anxiety. He sometimes lost his shyness in jubilation and began dancing in ecstasy. And sometimes, being fully absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, he felt oneness and imitated the pastimes of the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj sometimes felt that the Lord was far away from him and therefore called him loudly. When he saw that the Lord was before him, he was fully jubilant. Sometimes, thinking himself one with the Supreme, He imitated the Lord's pastimes, and in separation from the Lord, he would sometimes show symptoms of madness. These feelings of a devotee would not be appreciated by impersonalists. One must go further and further into spiritual understanding. The first realization is impersonal Brahman, but one must still go further to realize Paramatma and eventually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is worshipped by the transcendental feelings of a devotee in a relationship of Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, or Madhurya. Here, the feelings of Prahlad Maharaj were in the mellow of Vatsalya, filial love and affection. As a child cries when left by his mother, when Prahlad Maharaj felt that the Lord was away from him, he began to cry, Nadati. Again, a devotee like Prahlad sometimes sees that the Lord is coming from a long distance to pacify him, like a mother responding to a child saying, My dear child, do not cry, I am coming. Then the devotee, without being ashamed due to his surroundings and circumstances, begins to dance, thinking, Here's my Lord is coming. Thus, the devotee, in full ecstasy, sometimes imitates the pastimes of the Lord, just as the cowherd boys used to imitate the behavior of the jungle animals. However, he does not actually become the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj achieved the spiritual ecstasies described herein by his advancement in spiritual understanding. So Prahlad Maharaj is having these beautiful emotions for Krishna. As we said, in any relationship, we have emotions, and the perfection of a relationship, all relationships, is our relationship with Krishna. Each and every one of us has relationship with Krishna, and we have to revive this. And here, Prahlad Maharaj's relationship to the Lord is that of a child to the mother. So Prahlad is happy when he sees the Lord is with him. He's dancing when he's seeing the Lord coming towards him, just like a child. And we'll hear later also, like Lord Nishingadev, he puts Prahlad on his lap and is licking him all over, just as the mother lion licks over the cub. That's his relationship Prahlad has with the Lord. So we also need to revive our relationship with Krishna. God is a person. Each of us has a loving relationship with God. Comments? You wanted to comment anything?
No.
Mm.
Beautiful.
It would be nice, no, to revive our relationship with Krishna.
Yeah. Imagine being loved. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine, I'm sorry.
Yeah, being loved, like, getting so much of affection, love from Krishna.
Yeah. 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 Kvachid utpulakastushnim
Kvachit utpulakastushnim
aste samparsha nirvrita
Aste
samsparsha nirvrita
aspanda pranayananda
aspanda pranayananda
salila militekshanaha.
salila militekshana.
Sometimes feeling the touch of the Lord's lotus hands, he became spiritually jubilant and remained silent, his hair standing on end and tears gliding down from his half-closed eyes because of his love for the Lord. When a devotee feels separation from the Lord, he becomes eager to see where the Lord is. And sometimes, when he feels pangs of separation, tears flow incessantly from his half-closed eyes. as stated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshashtaka, Yogyaitam Nimishena Chakshusha Pravarshayaitam. The words Chakshusha Pravarshayaitam refers to tears falling incessantly from the devotee's eyes. These symptoms, which appear in pure devotional ecstasy, were visible in the body of Prahalad Maharaj. So Prabhupada is here quoting Lord Chaitanya's Shikshastakam, where Shikshastakam, Lord Chaitanya is telling us how the pure devotee is feeling separation from Krishna, and that's why he's crying. When we remember our loved one, we may also shed tears. Maybe we are missing our children, or, then we may cry sometimes. So in separation, here the devotee is crying. Prahlad Maharaj is crying now in separation when he feels, oh, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? So this is devotional ecstasy. In the material world, separation brings us suffering. But on the spiritual platform, the separation is also ecstatic. There's no suffering on the spiritual platform. We may think, oh, well, if I have to also suffer on the spiritual platform, what's the use? No, but this is ecstatic. The heart is so full of love that it just overflows from the eyes. So the love is overflowing as tears from the eyes, because the heart is feeling so much love. And there seems to be some technical issue here. I'm unable to change the page. Let me see if I can get it from this. Okay. No, I don't know. Something's wrong with my internet, seems like. Here. Got it. Got it. So, Uttama Shloka Padaravindayor.
Shloka Padaravindayo
Nishevaya Kinchana Sangalaptaya.
Nishevaya Kinchana Sangalaptaya
Tanvan Param Nirvritim Atmano Mohor.
Tanvan Param Nirvritim Atmano Mohor
Dusangadina Syamana Shamam Yadat.
Dusangadinasya Manasamam Yadat.
Because of his association with perfect unalloyed devotees who had nothing to do with anything material, Prahlad Maharaj constantly engaged in the service of the Lord's lotus feet. By seeing his bodily features when he was in perfect ecstasy, persons very poor in spiritual understanding became purified. In other words, Prahlad Maharaj bestowed upon them transcendental bliss. Apparently, Prahlad Maharaj was placed in circumstances in which he was always tortured by his father. In such material conditions, one cannot have an undisturbed mind. But since bhakti is unconditional, ahaituki apratihata, Prahlad Maharaj was never disturbed by the chastisements of Hiraṇyakaśipu. On the contrary, the bodily symptoms of his ecstatic love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead turned the minds of his friends who had also been born in atheistic families. Instead of being disturbed by the torments of his father, Prahlad influenced these friends and cleansed their minds. A devotee is never contaminated by material conditions, but persons subjected to material conditions can become spiritually advanced and blissful upon seeing the behavior of a pure devotee. So, here Prabhupada is mentioning that it seems that always Hiraṇyakaśipu was troubling Prahlad Maharaj because he's a born devotee. Hiraṇyakaśipu is a demon, so from the beginning he's torturing him. But what Prahlad, he's a pure devotee, a Mahabhagavat. He is with the Lord all the time. So instead of him getting disturbed, he is instead influencing the minds of his friends. That is how a pure devotee is. He gives his association. He does not take association of the materialist, but he rather gives his association. And those who are in the association of the pure devotee, then they can benefit greatly. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kahe. So people who are, so his friends are getting so much benefit just by being with him. So you wanted to stop here now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Did you want to add anything, comment, any question? No? So stop. Thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.